Yo, what is going on, everybody? Hope you are well. Today we're gonna do part of the new series. I did a video and someone commented and said, yeah, I like the idea, but I'd like to actually see the replay first to come up with my own ideas and more of like a commentary thing, and then do the replay analysis after. So that is what we're gonna do, and we're gonna start with M0nkey M00n. You know, M0nkey M00n, he's always been featured here. We've had how to play like M0nkey M00n. I think we've had replay analysis in the past as well on M0nkey M00n, but we're gonna do M0nkey M00n purely because he actually broke the record, and I think it was 2,607 MMR, I could be wrong, something like that. And this replay is actually from the day before, the 22nd. He did it on the 23rd. Hard to get a lot of footage from that day, surprisingly. But here we have a game. I haven't watched it yet. It goes to 4-1. Yeah, looking forward to it. And look for M0nkey M00n as we press play here to really utilize shadowing as the first man a lot of the times, but also just the efficiency. There you go. There's a shadow right there. So a lot of players would have dove into that. But you see how he gets basically the same outcome without having to throw himself at the plate. So M0nkey M00n is known by a lot of players as one of the most efficient players of all time. And of course, you know, world champion. And in part of really one of the most dominant teams in recent history in BDS. Maybe not right recent, but in the past, you know, BDS have been very hard to deal with. And again, it comes from M0nkey. That's a misplay, I think. Yep. It comes from M0nkey M00n's efficiency around the pitch, although that was a misplay because he pushed up and he killed out a little bit too early there and allowed a gap at the front post. And we'll look into this after, of course, with the replay analysis. We're going to go through the goals, but a good kickoff goal there, and it is 1-1. So yeah, it's been a while since I've done any sort of commentary. And, you know, it's going to be quite relaxed commentary. It's not going to be, you know, world class or anything like that. It's been a long time. I'm off my game. But, you know, I just love watching this game. And I love watching M0nkey M00n. You know, two of my favourite players to watch in twos are M0nkey M00n and Ferry Peak. And I would say Ferry Peak probably is my favourite because I just think these guys do the boom, inside to outside. You know, they just do the fundamentals so well. So here we go. M0nkey M00n jumping away. You might look for a speed flip there. Might have been a mechanical misplay. But one thing you will notice here with M0nkey M00n is he's always trying to control the play if he can. So you're either looking to control the play or pepper the backboard. Generally, you want to control the play. And when I say control, just because he's going for an air dribble doesn't mean he doesn't have control. He is air dribbling it under control, ideally. Trying to stay close to the ball. You can do a lot. You know, as the ranks get higher, you've got really two ways to... I always say, a good player can score goals and a great player can create. And at the high levels, obviously, everyone can create. So they tend to rely less on the opponents making mistakes and more on clean out plays. So the way to do it, that is a massive misplay. That's something you'd expect. No offense anybody, but I'd expect that in Platinum. But we actually do sit in Grand Champ, and if you haven't seen that, watch mine and Raids. Road to Grand Champ 3, Division 3, and we stopped early. We could have got to SSL with no mechanics because that's all we did. We utilised that people still do this, and this is top 100. I don't agree with that play, so I'm surprised that happened, but... Anyway, what I was going to say, to set up offense, you need usually two things. The first is an angle. You have to create an angle. You have to create some sort of movement on the ball. And the other is you have to either move the ball up or down. So if you can't create a... Oh, it's over. Oh, okay. I thought it was a bit longer than this. But I'm just going to explain this. So if you don't have the ability to... Maybe you're playing really fast players, to actually create an angle on your offense, then you can either go up or down. And if you think about it, if I was to draw a line, we'll just go actually... we'll go back on this. Okay, we're back at the beginning. We can put the score underneath. And I'm just going to explain what I'm talking about, this concept of angles and creating different ways to approach the net. So before we even go into the replay, if you imagine, if I've got a ball here and I just push it into the opponents, I'm not going to get very far. So what we often have to do is we have to create an angle, some sort of angle, still moving overall towards the net, but not necessarily direct, you see. From here, where we started, to here, let's just say we're going to use this one, we have travelled forward. We've travelled this far forward, okay? But we haven't done it direct because it's easy to block. So what we do is we create an angle, and then we've got fakes, low 50s a higher percentage, we've got hook shots, bounce straight. We've got a massive plethora of moves that we can use. But as you get up the ranks, you're going to have really smart 50-50 challenges coming in, and you're going to need to be quicker to take advantage of transitions, because if you get an overcommit from the opponent, you don't want to take too long to make it happen. So you have to either go, if you're going direct to net, you go up, okay? The reason you go up is because you can go up, you can go down, you can now flip reset, you can move the ball to the side. And now what we have done, if you imagine, let me take this to the side and we draw it here. So we got up and down. And now as we're moving up towards the net, we're doing it at an angle like this. We have now created an undirect route to the net, similar to before if we were to rotate sidewards, where, if you see now, okay, it doesn't work. You do it, but hopefully you can see that you're now creating that angle, but you're doing it up and down instead of left to right. Very important, you have to create some sort of angle play. So let's have a look at this replay. It's very short, so we're actually going to be able to take quite a look at this. And the majority of it, we will look at M0nkey M00n here. So kickoff, I don't think we need much coverage on the kickoff there. One thing M0nkey M00n is very good at on his kickoff, so is jumping early as on his second jump. So oftentimes, may not be the case here, it might be actually, he generally tends to get off the ground before his opponent. Yeah, he's done it here. So he's very good at this. And if you watch M0nkey M00n replays, you can just select anyone and you'll see that he's really good at getting off the ground fast. Why is that important? Well, you can actually be slower than it. Oh, this actually might be a perfect example. Nice. Okay, so you can actually be slower than a player, but if you get to the mid-height of the ball first, and to do that, generally you have to jump quite early, you can still win the kickoff. There you go. That's perfect. Wasn't expecting that. So just shows you there something M0nkey M00n does well, and hopefully he takes a few more kickoffs. You'll see he's very good at getting off the ground on his second jump. So if you're ever out there struggling to win kickoffs, and you're playing as someone in kickoff who's quicker than you, and you're like, I can't win against the speed flip. And guys, learn the speed flip, for crying out loud. You need the speed flip, okay? I've heard a lot of nonsense people say, you need, if you want to go to the very high ranks, you need the speed flip. But regardless of that, if you don't have the speed flip and you're getting beaten by someone faster, make sure you're doing your second jump early, the one which is off the landing. So let me just explain it like this, okay? Oh, there we go. That's your first jump, that's your second jump. Make sure you're getting that in early. Because what tends to happen when a lot of people are getting beaten to the ball, they jump late. So most players in Champ 3 and under, maybe Grand Champ and under, they're actually executing their first jump here. They get so close, and what happens is when they lose, it goes over the top of them oftentimes, or it'll bounce in like this, and it just means you're jumping too late. So you can still win the kickoff on speed and try and direct it, but you're jumping too late, it's not going to be as effective. Make sure you're jumping and trying to really smack the center of that ball. So anyway, back into this. So what you're going to see here is a really good bit of advice, is in my opinion. But listen, if you're not going to push up in the play, just grab the back boost. So many people will just take time and I'm going to grab this. I'm still going to shadow. I'm going to grab this, and they'll do all of this and end up exactly in the same position M0nkey M00n has. But they'll do it with 30. But you might as well just grab the 100 in this situation. But what I want you to look at is one of the fundamental rules of Rocket League, okay? So 2v2 has a lot of fundamental rules. Number one, and maybe I'll put this on the screen. Don't, and this isn't in order, by the way. There's no real order of this. They are the fundamentals, but hopefully we'll see it. Number one, don't dive in as last man unless you are 1000% sure. So right now, he's last man. If M0nkey M00n challenges this ball, now granted, he could challenge this ball. He could come from the inside position, inside to outside, and he could side flip to the left. And he's probably going to win that. The reason he would want to side flip to the left here is that he can't get cut as easily as if he side flips to the right. If he comes in and side flips to the right, he might get faked. So side flip to the left, although not as potent, you can't get it direct to net like you can with a side flip to the right. You can still prevent a lot of off. To make it even easier, just shadow. And what you're seeing here is something Raiders spoke about in the SSL Road in 1v1 no mechanics. On the inside shadow, he's inside, and all he's got to do is backflip. If you're out there and you're, let's say champ or diamond, can you do a backflip? If the answer is yes, then start shadowing and doing backflips. All right, when it's needed. So again, M0nkey on the ball here, and so this is what we're talking about. So right here now, he can create an angle. As you can see, Revzy is way too far on this wall. This is a bad position really from Revzy, because what it allows M0nkey M00n to do is it allows him to take this area. And this is a weak side. They've created a weak side by pushing up on an inline position right here. This happens a lot. Let's actually look at this from the breakdown. So Fabio's doing a good job. Yeah, to be fair, they couldn't really do too much else here. Fabio goes for this aerial. In my opinion, this was a low percentage shot, and this could be a trendsetter based on the replay that we just watched. But anyway, Now M0nkey can actually take this to that weak side, that left-hand side. Revsy shouldn't be up the wall, in my opinion, in that situation. But, you know, maybe he thought he was going to go up the wall. But by doing this, what happens is whenever you create this sort of move where you've forced, this is proactive offense, right? He's not just pushing it at the opponent, he's moving it. I would love to see that across the ground. He's created an angle to the left here. He could also have gone up or down. We've seen that, you know. Or he could hybrid, which he's sort of done here. But what happens is, because of the way he's done this, he forces Revsy to make a play. He forces Revsy to make a play. Revsy, you might be watching and say, oh, that's proactivity. It's reactive. Believe it or not, this is reactive. You watch this from Revsy's position. Well, this is what I'd call reactive. Because he's being forced. Boom. He is forced now to go after this ball because he does not want to get switched. He realizes, if I get switched, I'm in a bad state. What else have I got that's bad? I'm in a 2v1. Okay, so Fabso, what, you know, should not have gone for this aerial. Are you going to score this? No. Is it going to set something up? No, you got one of the best defenders in the world behind that ball. You're committing here. It's not as high percentage as you think, because now actually you end up in a 2v1. Easiest way, if you don't know if you're in a 2v1 or not, even though, you know, you probably will. But here's a little rule I like to have. Take these boosts, okay? And if at any time, on whichever side, the first line of boosts, if you and your teammate of this team, okay, and the ball are beyond this line, but one of the opponents is behind it, you should be looking to score. This is a 2v1. As an offensive player, you should never put yourself in this position. This is a fundamental rule that has been broken by Fabso. They recover off it and get the first goal, but it's something that might crop up later, if I remember correctly, from what we just saw when I was talking about. I didn't even get the commentate really, but anyway. So M0nkey switches the ball, and now Revsy's forced to go up because he's in a 2v1. He has to block it, which does what? What does this do? It gives a free ball. Look at the space. This wasn't an amazing play. People will look at this and say, yeah, it's just normal Rocket League. That's rubbish. Okay, if that's normal Rocket League, it shouldn't be normal Rocket League. Because they just got trapped because that guy dived into the corner. Oh, rule number 2, don't dive into the corner. Rule number 3, don't create a 2v1, usually via diving into the corner. That has been created here. So now they have space and the ball, which means on this second play, that was the first play where M0nkey switched the angle, now they can take control of the ball much more deadly. Now they've got cuts, they got flicks, they got cat, they got all of the above here. And Fabso dives. And they do a good job with this dive because they go from inside to outside. Their first man here. They want to cook, you know, they want to stop anything happening, so they dive. Now, this dive isn't as good as it looks because really, again, M0nkey just gets the ball. And you'll notice from the higher level play, M0nkey, really, you want to set your offense up in the corner. So, how many players would hit this? Be honest, how many of you out there would dive into this, front flip into this, trying to hook shot into this? How many people would try that? I'm guessing 95, 99%. Just take it and get it in the corner. Get 100 boost, lure this player into the corner, therefore he's deeper. Higher percentage chance of this player, obviously this guy's top 100, of just going like this, and that's a 2v1 straight away, because look, we're going, boom, right there, we would be ahead of the ball and they'd be there, okay? So that's a 2v1. But anyway, regardless, I'm just trying to link this to how I can help you guys, but you can still learn from these guys. And then he's trying, of course, his flip reset offense, and that goes into, if you can't create an angle, but you want to get your offense sorted as soon as possible, and the reason he does is because Fabso's not in a great position now on the rotation. He's got to go up and down, and you get flip resets, which re-raises the ball, and you can also change the angle with that. So again, M0nkey hit. Now this is a misplay from M0nkey. So M0nkey's just cutting here and pushing for this boost. There's no reason for him to do this, in all honesty. So Fabso's committed heavy. Now M0nkey here, in my opinion, obviously he's going to get bumped here. He should just come here and go for a deep net position, because there's nothing really to gain by pushing up here. Not with the speed Zeri's moving the ball at. And now what's happened is they've allowed a situation that shouldn't necessarily have been allowed. M0nkey came here. This shot comes across here, and the thing is why I always say go deep, because you're always going to hit the ball outside, and that's probably going to be an open net. Actually, you smack it outside, and you're going to open net there. This comes off. Obviously, Zeri here, or Zeri, goes up for this ball. Doesn't need to go up for it. There's no reason to go up for this ball. They could have actually waited, taken it off the bounce, grabbed this boost, and now gone up with the ball. because they would have had more control over it. Just unnecessary speed here, and you can actually see it from their perspective that no one's chasing this ball. So why are we going for an aerial to hit the ball away from ourselves? This doesn't make sense. Okay, and you're still going to see this sort of stuff in the higher levels. And now we hit the ball away. What's the one thing we don't want in twos? Gaps. We've created a gap. Revsy comes in. Okay, he dives into the corner. Now remember, diving into the corner is a fundamental rule you generally don't want to do. Unless, like I always say, the more you know, the more you can break. You know you can get over the top and get that. Which Revsy does. And then he puts the shot on target. M0nkey cannot save that once he follows around. And he doesn't need to follow around in this situation. He's got a boost here. There's no reason to cut this so short. Like, that doesn't make sense to me. I can't explain why he did that, but he did, okay? So it happened. That's a goal. So here we go again, actually. This is perfect. So we get another M0nkey kickoff. And what you'll notice again, watch how early he jumps. Oh, is he later on this one? Let's have a look. Slow it down. No, he's not. So you see how, again, this is just classic M0nkey. This is. See how he's above this guy now? He's jumped early. So even though he gets... There we go. This is exactly the example I was hoping to see. So even though he's later to the ball, and people say, you have to be first to the ball. That's not actually true. It's true in a way, okay? But generally, it's the fundamentals that matter. Fabso is jumping way too late on the kickoff. So M0nkey is able to get into the middle. I mean, look, he's embedded himself into the middle of the ball. So he's winning that. And this is exactly what I was talking about. You can usually tell if someone's jumping earlier than you are, or you're jumping too late. The ball goes over the top of you. So a little tip there. If you ever are losing kickoffs that way, it means your second jump is too slow. If you have any replays of that, go and watch it, slow it down, and watch what I've just said, and you'll see that I'm telling the truth with that. And this is, again, something you always want to do is follow the ball on kickoffs to get these goals. Again, M0nkey. And again, I don't even know if he wins this, but he's off the ground before his opponent, and he wins it again. So that is like one tip here that's going to help you so much. Okay, if you take nothing away from this video except this, jump before your opponent on that second jump. Let's watch it again from M0nkey perspective, just so you can sort of see the rhythm of this. Boom, bam. And I'm going to win. I'm going to win because the ball, I'm controlling a big part of the hitbox of the ball there. Great stuff again. So again, M0nkey, he doesn't dive here. Perfect. So he's not diving into the corner because he knows that's a very low percentage play. Sure, they got scored on because of that a second ago. But how often can you... Well, obviously, you would want to dive where Revsy dived last time because it was obvious. But here instead, why don't we just take the momentum? Why don't we just take the momentum? So many times you see players, Grand Champ and below, and in fact, we saw in Grand Champ 3, SSL and below, top 100 and below. You see it all the time. They fight the energy. Take the energy of the ball and then manipulate it. So M0nkey, right, where's the energy coming? Right, it's coming towards my net. Okay, why don't I take the energy towards my net and then just loop it around a little bit and get into space? Boom, there it is. And now I can dig into the ball. And now I've created an angle. Now Fabso has to go here because if he doesn't, we got everything. So he has to go. And this is very typical Rocket League. And this is very much like if I was analysing and not being horrible. These guys are amazing. They're way better than me. Just want to get that out there. You know, people are going to say, yeah, but you can't do this. I know I can't do this. But I'm just saying, is Rocket League really that good? No. There are still a ton of mistakes these players are making. And in fact, if you look at the highest players, they usually do have the real good fundamentals down often, or they've got just impeccable vision. So right here, Fabso is in no man's land. Revsy here has dove in to the play. So he's now at the play. So now, by diving into the play, he's created a 2v1. M0nkey creates an angle. He would like to get it more on net there, because technically that would have been an angle, because this guy's off position, you see. So he moves it to the side. Now Fabso, because he's in no man's land and he's in a 2v1, he has to go and block this. But all that block does is just hit the ball back really to the opposing team. And now this is where you can challenge. Because what they've done is they've collapsed the momentum of the blue team. And so Revsy's turned here, but M0nkey's turn was much more clean. Now if you look at Revsy, he's got 0 momentum. And when he challenges this, his nose, the majority of it is actually facing towards his own net. So he's losing this 50. The other thing is he's more on the outside. Another sneaky way to win 50s and get easy pressure on net. Challenge from the most inside position on the ball. So even though the perfect challenge for this ball would be to sort of come here and challenge it, it doesn't matter because Monkey Moon is still the closest player to the inside. Okay, by the inside we mean closer to the middle of the pitch, the midline. So generally he's gonna win this 50. Go and watch your replays, test it out. I guarantee you it is correct. Because I've watched literally about 5,000 replays. So here we go, and then he's gonna go down. Now Monkey Moon now, he's gonna grab the boost. Now a lot of people would force this. They would go up and they would go, I'm the best player of all time. And then I go, wait a minute, dude. I just looked at your stats, you're gold free. They go, yeah, but I can air dribble. Forget that. Don't go for it. Play the long game. He's going to grab the boost instead. No, notice also the second man doesn't go up for this. Big thing to notice. They're playing the long game. Let's burn them down. What am I going to do here? I'm going to grab the boost. Let's burn them down. Now what happens? Fabso has a 31 boost. 61, 71, okay? So Fabso, as a team here, we've got, if we're Monkey Moon, we've got the boost advantage and we've got the ball. And now we can go up. It was a little bit of a heavy touch or a slow boost after it there for Monkey Moon. Pretty not like him really. And actually Fabso does go up here and block this quite well. The reason this is so good, it's something we covered in the last video, is notice how he goes similar to Grammar. Notice how he just goes straight up. He doesn't fly forward. He actually stops the momentum of his car and then goes directly up. That is what you should do, as it gives you another opportunity. And then Revsy, for whatever reason, remember the rule. You know, I can see why he's going up here. He's probably thinking that shot's there. This is why you don't play, boom. You know, you don't play your hand. If you want to do a proactive move, make sure it allows you to switch. What's happened here? Revsy has been proactive. He said, I know where you're going and I'm going to beat you there. Problem is he's just done it too early. And that's fine if he gave himself his contingency to bail out of it, but he just hasn't. So now he's actually stranded in the air, and it's a very simple play. But again, what we'll notice here is it's a 2v1 has been forced there. Monkey Moon's able to go to the demo, which forces Revsy up here. He forces Revsy to push forward because they're trying to create a 2v1. This is all Rocket League is. And then they end up creating the 2v1 there. Okay, so Monkey Moon isn't taking this kickoff, but what we will notice is, notice the difference here, and it's something that I talk about a lot. I can already tell you who has the advantage generally, again, I'll say it again, on this kickoff is going to be Monkey Moon's team, because Revsy's gone to the corner for boost, and Zeri and Monkey Moon here is pushing up on the kickoff. Even a corner one, it gives you a big advantage. Now, in this particular circumstance, it's important to note why, because Monkey Moon here pushes forward on this kickoff. If they win this correctly, let's just say it wins and it goes here, Monkey Moon now has the ball and he can go onto his offense. And he's going to be really successful here because Revsy's forced really far back. Now on the flip side, if the ball goes to Revsy, if Monkey Moon went for boost, he's in the same, like he can't take advantage if something goes well. But he can also still make a save. But here instead, he can make a shadow save, because he pushed forward first. So you notice again, Monkey Moon shadowing on the inside, just like Raid says. And all you got to do there is just go up. And it's much easier for him to make that save than if he was stranded in net facing out. It's a lot harder to make a save because you're moving against the ball as opposed to with the ball. So your time of hitbox contact is lower. Great save again from Monkey Moon. And another thing to notice with this is that he doesn't throw this away. He's not side flipping into it. He's single jumping because he wants the ball as close as possible. And that is a ridiculous misplay at this level in my opinion. So Revsy has created a 2v1 by going for an all-in play. Okay. Now, what's the rule we've said? Don't dive in as last man. I don't care how good you are. You're not going to score this goal with 2 goals. Like, it's just so low percentage. First of all, you've got to feed it's just impossible. Like, honestly, it's just such an improbable shot that boom, this happens and you get a free net. This is literally what I've done in all the No Mechanic series. Just sat in there and wait for people to do that, because it happens all the time. Go watch a replay. Go watch any replay you're in. Come on, honestly, go watch it. How many of you just dive into balls here that you can't score? You just flip into just the most pointless play ever. You're not going to score. Stop doing it. All right, 3-1 here. And again, let's have a little look. I don't know again the outcome of this. So actually, Monkey Moon is slower up on that one. And he loses that kickoff. So that's a good example. So here we go again. I haven't cherry picked this to prove a point. I'm just saying, as I see. I literally watched it the first time with you guys. So here, Fabso slightly earlier off the ground, and because he does have that speed advantage, having that extra bit of height as well, he's going to be able to just win that kickoff. It's not a guaranteed method. Obviously, it does depend on the quality of the lateral hitbox as well as the high one. But Fabso straight up, air dribble, and not a bad play here actually from Fabso. You know, like I say, he's managed to get onto the inside. He's got the central position. He's going up, and that means he can go up or down, and he does. He maintains the height of it. Makes it very difficult for the opponents to deal with. And what is this? So this doesn't make much sense here. Revsy's got to fake this. He's got to come in here nice and sharp, fake this, and try and grab this boost, come here, and then try and go into a shadow on the inside. Oh my god, what is going on? And sort of like block it here. Okay, but he goes for a demo. This just seems... This is just... Let's say you get the demo here, or the bump. What's it do? It doesn't do anything. You've got no boost. You're in the... 2v1's been created. Right there. We've got the 2v1. In fact, Zeri doesn't even... Well, Fabso misses this. Well, they got the 17 boost. They've just seen that. They must be panicking. Again, you don't need to challenge this. You just... And trust me, honestly, this happens at all ranks. Like I said, this is top 100 people. And again, these guys are amazing. They're amazing. Okay, I don't want to understate that. They are incredible. But how many times... And if you interviewed Fabso right now, he would say something like, yeah, I was just trying to hit it off the side one, dude. Yeah. Great, you know, it's like me taking every single shot the ball comes to. I think this might be the players, not Fabso. I'm just saying players in general. Every shot that comes to him, smack it, smack it. What are you trying to do? I was just trying to hope it deflects into the net. Yeah, we could all say that if we're going to make low percentage plays. There's a reason you can't score them. Because they're low percentage. You score them once in a blue moon and you think they work. They don't work. Stick to what works. Please. Don't dive in here. Shadow is last man. There's another rule. And then just take it here into the corner and you're off. Okay, so what we see is just a lot of the fundamental rules. I don't know if it was trolling or what, broken in this replay. And the cool thing is you're seeing this at the top level. You're seeing this from the best in the world. People always say that we're near the skill ceiling in Rocket League. And then people like Zen have just come around and they've changed the game a little bit. And now people say there's still a little bit more. And I can tell you this for a fact. When you're talking about strategy, when you're talking about solid locked down fundamentals, even now, 6-7 years on, this game at the highest level has a lot of work to do. A lot of work to do. And that is why we love it. Because there's still a lot to do. There's still a lot of growth to be had. So I hope that's helped you. If nothing else, the big tips are don't dive into the corner. Don't dive in as last man. All right? And try and jump early on your second jump on the kickoff. That'll alleviate a lot of your problems. Comment down below who you would like to see replay analyzed, if that's a word, next. Thank you very much, everybody, for watching. I do really appreciate the support. Look after yourself, and peace out. Peace, peace.